Good morning, dear students. Welcome back to Zoology online classes. This is Rajkumar, PGT in Biology. I hope every one of you is following these classes and getting benefit out of it. So we have already completed the first chapter, which is about digestion and absorption. And in today's class, we are going to learn about the second chapter, which is about breathing and exchange of gases. Okay, let's start. Breathing and exchange of gases. What is meant by respiration actually? So in the day-to-day life, we do many activities. We walk, we talk, we listen to something, and we do many other things. So for doing all these things, fundamentally we require energy. So where do we get this energy from? So there is an internal mechanism in our body which helps in the releasing of energy. So this chemical process, catabolic process present in the body, is called as respiration. So whatever the food we take, they convert into simple soluble substances with the help of digestive system. So whatever the food molecules produced by the digestive system, they go into the blood vessels and they travel along the blood vessel and they reaches to the cellular level. So the food molecules from the small intestine goes into the cell and they reaches to the each cell. So assume this as a food molecule, and with the circulatory system and blood vessel itself, the oxygen is also gets carried out with the help of hemoglobin, reaches to the cellular level. So this oxygen which reaches to the cellular level breaks down the food molecule chemically and releases the energy in the form of ATP. So this energy which is produced is used by our body for doing all the activities that we are doing now. Okay, so this is what I written here. Food gets digested and it gets absorbed in the small intestine, goes into the cells, goes into the blood, and with the help of blood it goes to the cellular level, and there will be the process called cellular respiration, by which the energy is released. Respiration is basically two types: external respiration and internal respiration. External respiration means the exchange of the gases. So it is merely the exchange of gases. It is also called as breathing and ventilation. So the oxygen and carbon dioxide are exchanged by the lungs, isn't it? So how the lungs work and what are the parts in the lungs, this is all we learn in the external breathing. And the second process is internal respiration, which is also called as cellular respiration. In the cellular respiration, we learn about the chemical process which is involved, which means glycolysis, Krebs cycle, and electron transport chain, which ultimately produces the ATP. So in the respiration organs, in the respiration life process, we learn about two aspects as we learn in any other organ system: respiratory system and respiratory process. I already said the system means the group of organs which are involved, isn't it? And the process again is of two types: aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. If the respiration takes place in the presence of oxygen, it is called as aerobic respiration. If the respiration takes place in the absence of oxygen, it is called anaerobic respiration. So this is the glucose, which is the food molecule, and reacts with oxygen and undergoes the oxidation process and produces 38 ATP. Okay, so in the aerobic respiration, the final outcome is 38 ATP. Okay, 1 mole of glucose produces 38 ATPs, and whereas in anaerobic respiration, glucose converts into alcohol and lactic acid. Okay, so alcohol produced by the fermentation process, and in the human body lactic acid is produced by the anaerobic respiration, but it results into only 2 ATPs, so produces very less amount of energy. So aerobic energy means the involvement of oxygen is there, and in the anaerobic respiration there is no usage of oxygen. Let's learn further slide. Respiration in animals. So according to the organ which is used in the process of exchange of gases, there are different methods of respiration. In that, the first one is about simple diffusion. So since organisms live in different locations, some live in the water, some live on the land, some can live on terrestrial and also aquatic. So according to the habitat they live, they carry out this exchange of gases by different organs. So in that first method, simple diffusion, we all know what is meant by diffusion. It is the movement of molecules from the region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration. It is carried out by protozoans, sponges, cnidarians and platforms. Let's see what happens in the diffusion. So if this is an animal, so if the percentage of carbon dioxide is increased inside the body than the external medium, carbon dioxide automatically rushes out, because the molecules transfer from higher concentration to the lower concentration. So if the body loses more oxygen, if the surrounding media has higher oxygen levels than the animal body, oxygen gets rushed inside. Okay, it is all because of the concentration gradient between the body cavity and the external surrounding. Okay, so it is by protozoans, sponges, all the lower organisms. Next is cutaneous respiration, in which the skin is a major part in the exchange of the gases. In earthworms and in amphibians like frogs, we see slimy skin. తడిగా ఉండే స్కిన్ ని మనం చూస్తాం, బికాస్ దేర్ స్కిన్ ఈజ్ సప్లైడ్ బై వాస్ట్ నెట్వర్క్ ఆఫ్ బ్లడ్ వెజల్స్. సో స్కిన్ లో బ్లడ్ వెజల్స్ ఎక్కువగా ఉండడం వల్ల స్కిన్ నుంచి డైరెక్ట్ గా కార్బన్ డైఆక్సైడ్ బయటికి వెళ్ళిపోవడం, ఆక్సిజన్ లోపలికి రావడం అనేది జరుగుతుంది. సో it is again by the diffusion, but the organ which is involved is the skin, hence it is called cutaneous respiration. Next we see branchial respiration. Branchial respiration is carried out by aquatic animals like fishes, larvae of amphibians like tadpole, arthropod, some of the aquatic arthropods, and molluscans. Prawns, we can see prawns, they are arthropods, but they live in water. Okay, molluscans is shellfishes, we see all of them are molluscans. So in them there are particular organs called gills. They have ability to absorb the oxygen which is dissolved in the water. We know the chemical composition of water as H2O, that means two molecules of hydrogen and one molecule of oxygen. So oxygen exists in the water also, and that dissolved oxygen is taken by the gills and mixes with the blood. So here you are able to see the structure of gills supplied with many blood vessels, and with the help of blood again it's supplied to every part of the body. The next method is tracheal respiration. Trachea means nothing but the air tube. So the insects and the cockroaches, if you observe their body, inside of their body there is a network of tubular structures. Here you are able to see the picture. So there is a network of tubes inside the body, and they have external openings, and through these external openings air rushes inside and supply oxygen to all parts of the body. Since it is by the network of air tubules, it is called tracheal respiration. Okay. Next, book lungs. So some animals like spiders and scorpions, in these animals we see special structures called book lungs. These are the lungs which appears like a book. Next, book gills are seen in the king crab called Limulus. It is also called as a living fossil since it exists from millions of years without any changes. In the evolutionary context, it is said that book gills eventually converted as book lungs. Okay, and the last and the most developmental respiration or breathing is by the lungs, and the breathing by the lungs is called pulmonary respiration. So pulmonary respiration is carried out by all reptiles, birds means aves, and all the mammals. Okay, so let's see the next slide. Let's see the human respiratory system and the organs which are present. So here we can see the external nostrils, nasal chambers, nasopharynx, larynx, tracheae, bronchi and bronchioles, and lungs. Let us locate them. External nostrils are nothing but the external openings which are located here. Nasika randralu antam Telugulo. So and the next one is nasal chambers. Just behind the external nostrils there is a space which is called nasal chamber. Nasal chamber is divided by the nasal septum. The next is nasopharynx. So behind this nasal chamber we find nasopharynx, and below that there is a voice box also called as larynx. Okay, and next trachea. It is a large tubular structure covered by ring cartilages, and this tracheae is further divided into bronchi. So this is bronchi, and bronchi is further divided into bronchioles. So these are the further dividings of the bronchi. Okay, and finally the lungs. Okay, lungs contain many alveolar structures. We study about each and every organ in further. Let's see. Let's learn about the nasal chamber and the larynx. Nasal chamber are separated by nasal septum. Okay, so manaku nostrils అనేవి నాసికా రంధ్రాలు ఉన్నాయి. ఈ నాసికా రంధ్రాలన్నీ లోపల ఉన్న స్పేస్ ని మనము ముక్కు లోపల ఉన్న స్పేస్ ని మనం nasal chamber అని అంటాము. It has three parts in it. The first part is vestibular part, second part is the respiratory part, and the third part is olfactory part. So vestibular part consist of hair and sebaceous glands, and they prevent the dust. So while we are breathing, along with the gas, a lot of dust goes inside, and that dust particles are trapped by this hair and the sebum. Sebum ante chamata. So ఈ చెమట అండ్ హెయిర్ అనేవి ఈ డస్ట్ పార్టికల్స్ ని పట్టి ఉంచి ఆ డస్ట్ ని లంగ్స్ లోకి వెళ్లకుండా కాపాడుతుంది. నెక్స్ట్ రెస్పిరేటరీ పార్ట్. ఇన్ దిస్ పార్ట్ ద ఎయిర్ ఈస్ కండిషన్డ్, అంటే బయట ఉన్న ఎయిర్ అనేది డిఫరెంట్ టెంపరేచర్ లో ఉంటుంది. సో దట్ ఎయిర్ విచ్ ఈస్ ఇన్ డిఫరెంట్ టెంపరేచర్స్ వెన్ గోస్ ఇన్సైడ్, సో it gets conditioned and converts into 37 degrees. మన బాడీ లోపల ఉన్న టెంపరేచర్ కి ఆ ఎయిర్ అనేది కన్వర్ట్ అవుతుంది. ఓకేనా, సో దీన్ని మనం కండిషనింగ్ ఆఫ్ ది ఎయిర్ అని అంటాము. సో దట్స్ వై వెన్ యూ టచ్ యువర్ నోస్, వెన్ you find the air which comes out is hot in 37 degrees, isn't it? So this is a respiratory part which converts the air temperature into the body temperature. It is supported by tribunals and conchi. These are the bone and cartilages. Next, olfactory part. Olfactory part is made by the epithelium, which is useful for the detecting of smell. So olfactory part is involved in the actual sensory function. Okay. Let's see about the larynx here. Larynx is a cartilaginous voice box made by 9 types of cartilages. Okay. కార్టిలేజ్ ని సాఫ్ట్ బోన్ అని కూడా అంటాము. సో దీంట్లో 9 రకాల సాఫ్ట్ బోన్స్ కార్టిలేజెస్, మృదులాస్థి అంటాం తెలుగులో, అవి కలిసి ఈ లారింగ్స్ అనేది ఏర్పడుతుంది. సో దే ఆర్ థైరాయిడ్, క్రికాయిడ్ bones, thyroid cartilage, cricoid cartilage, epiglottis cartilage. They are unpaired అంటే సింగిల్ గా ఉంటాయి. అండ్ 2 corniculate cartilages and actinoid and cuneiform cartilage. Actinoid and cuneiform cartilages అనేవి paired గా ఉంటాయి. సో ఇవి మొత్తం 4 paired cartilages, మొత్తం 4. కార్నిక్యులేట్ కార్టిలేజెస్ అనేవి 2 అండ్ 3 ఏమో థైరాయిడ్, క్రికాయిడ్ అండ్ ఎపిగ్లాటిస్. మొత్తం 9 రకాల కార్టిలేజెస్ అనేవి కలిసి లారింగ్స్ అనే స్ట్రక్చర్ ఏర్పడుతుంది, విచ్ ఈస్ ద వాయిస్ బాక్స్. మనం మాట్లాడడానికి కారణం ఈ వాయిస్ బాక్స్. సో ఎపిగ్లాటిస్ అనేది ఇట్ ఈస్ అ కార్టిలేజ్, ఎలాస్టిక్ కార్టిలేజ్, అండ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ అ ఫ్లాప్ లైక్ స్ట్రక్చర్ which plays a key role in the passage of food and the air in respective tubes. మనం వాటర్ కానీ అన్నం కానీ తిన్నప్పుడు మింగే సమయంలో ఈ ఎపిగ్లాటిస్ అనేది ట్రాకియాని క్లోజ్ చేయడం వల్ల వాటర్ అండ్ ఫుడ్ అనేది కేవలం ఫుడ్ పైప్లోకే వెళ్తుంది. సో దిస్ ఈస్ ద ఫంక్షన్ ఇట్ డస్, ఎపిగ్లాటిస్. అండ్ ద నెక్స్ట్ ఈస్ vocal cords. Vocal cords are yellow elastic fibers connecting thyroid and arytenoid cartilage. ఈ థైరాయిడ్ అండ్ అరిటనాయిడ్ కార్టిలేజెస్ అనేవి 2 కలిసి ఒక ఎలాస్టిక్ ఫైబర్గా మారి అవి వోకల్ కార్డ్స్ లాగా పనిచేస్తాయి. ఓకేనా, నెక్స్ట్ స్లైడ్లో దాని పిక్చర్ చూద్దాము, హౌ దే ఆర్ మేడ్. నెక్స్ట్ రీమా గ్లాటిడీస్. రీమా గ్లాటిడీస్ మీన్స్ ద ఓపెనింగ్ బిట్వీన్ 2 వోకల్ కార్డ్స్. 2 వోకల్ కార్డ్స్ మధ్యన ఉన్న ఒక ఓపెనింగ్ ని మనం రీమా గ్లాటిడీస్ అంటాము. దాని లోపలికి ఎయిర్ వచ్చినప్పుడు శబ్దం అనేది క్రియేట్ అవుతుంది. నెక్స్ట్ ఆడమ్స్ యాపిల్. సో ఆడమ్స్ యాపిల్ ఈస్ నథింగ్ బట్ ద లారింజియల్ ప్రిడామినెన్స్ విచ్ ఈస్ ఫౌండ్ ఇన్ ది మేల్స్. మేల్స్ లోపల ఈ వోకల్ కార్డ్స్ అనేవి థిక్ గా లాంగ్ గా ఉంటాయి అండ్ దే ప్రొడ్యూస్ లో పిచ్ వాయిస్. And in the female and children, vocal cords are thin and they are short. They create high pitched sounds. Okay, so vocal cords అనేవి మేల్ లో థిక్ గా ఉంటాయి కాబట్టి సౌండ్ అనేది మాట్లాడుతుంటే హార్ష్ గా వస్తుంది. ఓకేనా, లెట్స్ సీ ద పిక్చర్స్ ఆఫ్ nasal chamber and larynx. ఇక్కడ చూడొచ్చు లారింగ్స్ లో ఉన్న డిఫరెంట్ కార్టిలేజెస్ ఇక్కడ మెన్షన్ చేశారు. హయాయిడ్ బోన్, థైరాయిడ్ కార్టిలేజ్, క్రికాయిడ్ కార్టిలేజ్, vocal cords and ligaments. So this is the trachea from where the air comes out and it will make the vibration in the vocal ligaments. So the vocal cords gets vibrated so that the sound is produced. Okay, so these are the vocal cords, 2 vocal cords, and the gap between is called as rimma glottidis. And this is the Adam's apple, which is also the secondary sexual organ, which is only found in the males. And this is the structure of nose, the longitudinal section. Here you are able to see the olfactory mucosa, which is made by epithelial cells, which helps in the detection of the smell. Okay, and here we find the sebaceous glands and the hair-like projections which trap the air and dust. Okay, let's see the next part. Tracheae, bronchi and bronchioles. Trachea is a windpipe supported by C-shaped hyaline cartilage. If you are able to see the trachea here, it is supported by the soft bone, which is also called the hyaline cartilage, and this keeps this windpipe opened always, because air must be supplied to the lungs always. Hence, it always should be opened. For the giving the support, there is a C-shaped hyaline cartilage, but from dorsally they are incomplete. That means from the back side, these tracheae are incomplete. They are lined by pseudostratified ciliated epithelium. Okay, so in the class of tissues we have studied this pseudostratified ciliated epithelium. So this cilia which are present on the epithelium trap the dust particles. Next, the bronchi. So this tracheae further divided into bronchi, two bronchi. So these are bronchus, each bronchus, and this bronchi is again divided. Okay, so primary bronchi, secondary bronchi, tertiary bronchi, terminal tubules, terminal bronchi, and respiratory bronchioles. So this is all it is divided. Suppose if this is the trachea, it is further divided into bronchi. This is the bronchi, and bronchi is subdivided into bronchioles, and bronchioles are again two types. There are many types. For primary bronchioles, and further dividing is called secondary bronchiole, and further dividing is called tertiary bronchiole, and further division is called respiratory bronchioles. And respiratory bronchioles opens into alveolar ducts, and alveolar ducts opens into the alveoli. So in this way, the trachea is subdivided several times, and finally an alveolar duct and alveoli is opened. Okay, so that's the reason the network of these tubes looks like an upside tree. You are able to see here. ఎలాగైతే ట్రీలో డిఫరెంట్ బ్రాంచెస్ ఉండి చివరికి ఆకు వరకు కనెక్షన్ ఉంటుందో అదే విధంగా మన లంగ్స్లో కూడా ఈ పైప్ లైక్స్ స్ట్రక్చర్స్ అనేవి డివైడ్ అయ్యి చివరికి ఒక ఆల్వియోలై అనే స్ట్రక్చర్ లోపలికి ఓపెన్ అవుతుంది. ఓకేనా? సో దిస్ ఈజ్ అబౌట్ ద ట్రాకియే, బ్రాంకీ అండ్ బ్రాంక్యూల్స్. The whole structure is called respiratory tree. Okay. So in the next class we learn about the lungs and the breathing mechanism. Okay, thank you.